rather than succumb to this thought that I shouldn't flourish if somebody else around me isn't, I decided that I needed to flourish no matter who was around me. This is Liberated. I'm your host, Laura Christine. You know what we need more than anything in this world? We need examples. We need role models. We need to see that what we desire is possible. I want to be free. I want to be free to be who I am completely. I want to be able to go where I am told by my soul, not by society. I've done this. And when I was getting divorced my second time, I noticed a pattern. Other women were staying in relationships that were just not fitting for them. And they weren't trusting their inner knowing because we're taught not to. We're socialized to look outside ourselves for all of our answers and to see how we need to act and behave so we can be taken care of, but that's not true. The truth is, you can trust yourself and you're the only one you can trust. I'm sharing my experience of setting myself free. I am sharing my journal and I'm sharing the wisdom that's come through these lessons. Now, I do follow my soul. It's really different and sometimes scary, but I know when I know, and I go where I go. I'm free. I know you can be too. This is your invitation to stick around and participate in this podcast and join my VIP club. Once again, I'm Elsie, and I would love for you to be free with me. I left my manipulative husband last January 2021, and it was really hard. I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. I thought that maybe we could get back together. Maybe we just needed a break. That didn't happen, but I learned a lot through this process, and I noticed a pattern of women using their compassion as an excuse to stay in situations that are not in their best interest, to stay especially with other humans, especially with spouses, but also in their jobs or simply their living situation. And I realized that this is bred into us. We are socialized to look outside ourselves for our answers, when actually we can trust our own instincts better than we can trust anything and anyone. I want to guide you into your own knowing, your own realization that you can trust yourself. And when you do, when you stop wondering what anyone else is going to respond to anything that you do, when you stop worrying about that and you bring it in and you come home to yourself, your home will form around you. It has for me. So I'm going to share my journal entries with you. Once again, just the background. I left my ex on January 29th, 2021. That year, I learned a ton. And I came back home into my body. I came back home into myself, and I started trusting myself again. I had completely stopped trusting myself because I had led myself into that situation. It's totally fine. It happens. I learned to do it. And I really thought that I could make a difference in this person's life. And of course I did. And he made a difference in mine as well. But it wasn't healthy and it wasn't right for me. And there was no way that I could flourish in it. And rather than succumb to this thought that I shouldn't flourish if somebody else around me isn't, I decided that I needed to flourish no matter who was around me. And if that meant leaving, then that's what I would do. So I spent that year, oh man, it was awesome. It was hard. I cried a lot. I tried to figure out how I got myself into that situation. I had some great therapy. I had some great friends. And thank God I have a great family, especially my mom and my sister. They really came through, and they weren't near me. I was in Hawaii and they both are in Minnesota. So it was like long distance support, but man, it was amazing. And my girlfriends on the island, oh my God, I don't know what I would do without them. I learned some hard lessons and I had the best time of my life I would say the last 4 months that I was on the island, I had the best roommates I've ever had. They've become great friends that I miss dearly. I have other friends that I miss dearly on the island and on the mainland, and here I am traveling all over the United States this year. The States this year. Not so united. We're not going to get into that. This is going to be really my journal. I'm going to read it to you, I swear. I just wanted to give you the background. So on January 29th, 2022, which was exactly a year after I left my ex, I left Oahu, which was my home for 7 years, and I'm freaking crying right now because I love it so much. And it gave me so much. It gave me wings. Some people will ask, what made you decide to leave? Or what made you decide to go to California? Because that's where I started, which you'll know about as I go through these episodes of my journal. Welcome to my inner life. I can only respond, soul said, and so I went. It wasn't a decision. I didn't decide to go to California. The going to California happened, and I went along for the ride. That's really how my life is. Because what I did was I came home to myself. And once I came home to myself, and I was true to myself and my own values. Adventure is my top value, by the way. You'll hear about adventure. When I did that, it was liberating. I'm free. I'm free. And things that I want and things that I need manifest before my eyes like magic, but I know it's not magic. It's just that I'm home. So I magnetize home to me. On the 29th, I left Oahu. I flew to Maui and one of my dearest sisters was there on Maui because she has a condo there, and she was at her condo. She came into the airport on Southwest. You can do whatever you want, basically. So she changed her ticket to be the day that I was coming for like an hour and a half. And then she bought me dessert at the Maui airport. And then I went off to Sacramento, where my awesome friend picked me up to stay with her and her wife in between Anderson and Shingletown. You'll hear about Shingletown as well. So it's near Redding, California, which is Northern California. They live off grid in the sticks, and it was cold because I got there January 30th. And I was used to perfect all the time weather. And it was so cold. So I do talk about that in my journal. But this is really my story of being free. And if it inspires anything for you, that's all I care about. That's really all I care about. Let's start from the beginning. Life has its way of preventing complacency. We can resist the soul's call and remain and roll into a sort of complacency for a bit, but life will move us either way. Adventure is merely accepted unknown. My top value is adventure. I tried to make it be something else. My top value, that is. I tried to make it not even a value at all. You cannot lie to yourself. That's the trouble. Other people you can dupe, but you cannot lie to yourself. You can only pretend, but you know you're pretending. You can keep pretending. I did a pretty masterful job of it, but I always knew what I really wanted. I crave the unknown. I need the unknown. This requires deliberate change, not waiting for outer circumstances to move me, but to be moved by my soul. Now I understand. I thought my first husband wanted travel and adventure as much as I did. I think he did, but he did not value his desire above his fear. My lesson was that, 1, try as you may, you cannot lie to yourself. You always know the truth. You will or may try to think your way out of it, but you always know the truth. Another lesson was that you don't have to pretend, and that pretending doesn't change the truth. As much as you wish it did, pretending absolutely does not change the truth. Truth remains. And it is okay when your truth doesn't match society, your family, or even the beliefs you've created with your thoughts. Your truth is valid and you don't have to manipulate yourself out of it or change it. You can do neither of those things. Suffering is trying to change or diminish what is true for you. We're taught to do this by people who've done it. Don't share your truth. That's not your truth. Change your truth. Maybe it's jealousy or fear. Like they're saying, I can't live my truth. You shouldn't either. Or no, if you live your truth, I won't be able to handle not living mine and I can't process it. Don't. It's not safe. Actually, living your truth is the only safe way to live. So I dove into the mysterious depths of darkness. That's no problem. That's where you see how brightly you shine. It can take a while, that's for sure. I prioritize my spiritual growth and I live in a physical form. What better mode of exploration of consciousness exists than to move this body around from place to place, finding new experiences, diving into trust, trusting my knowing and my feet to guide me to the next layer of depth and experience? What better mode of exploration is there than to engage these earthly senses? To feel love on the skin as a breath or a touch or a kiss by lips, the wind, the sea, rain, the sun. There is nothing more adventurous for me than to wake up in love every day and to follow where love leads me. To love for the sake of the ecstasy of being in the state of love. This most neutral state that needs nothing, desires for the sheer pleasure of desiring and acts in congruence with itself. Show me a life more fulfilling than that. I remain never the same. That's why I came. Let me explain that last line to you. I wrote a song. I'm gonna cry again. I wrote a song, I think in August of 2014, and I moved to Oahu without really knowing what I was doing that November. This song was to Pele, the volcano goddess. And she's so powerful. I mean, think about what a volcano does. It transforms before your eyes the earth. It brings new life. It brings massive destruction sometimes. But through it, it brings new life. So it's incredibly powerful and transforming, and she doesn't mess around. And I wrote this song to Pele. And part of it, the second verse, starts with, I am yours. I feel your blaze. It's burning me. And I remain never the same. That's why I came. And I remember singing it my last few days on the island, and actually the first few days after, and just feeling the love that was so present in that moment and in those words and in that song. I can't describe to you how it feels. And this is something that I did not expect, but I think what I'm going to do is play it. This is a podcast. People usually don't listen to music on podcasts, and maybe it's kind of annoying, but I don't care. I want you to hear this song and go on this journey with me. I'm really looking forward to sharing more. I'm not going to share everything because other parties might be involved and I want to protect their privacy, but I don't really hold much back. I don't really hold anything back. That is in me. So enjoy this. The song is called Pele, and it's really for all of us. Take me now, oh, take me now. The path is clear, the end is near, and I am here. Okay, that was the first journal of Elsie on her adventure of freedom and liberation. I hope you enjoyed it. One thing that I will let you know is that if you want to have a little bit more of this and get daily even reminders of checking in and really coming home to yourself and being home, I do a daily rune message in my VIP group. It's called Club LC, and you're my VIP. You can join that at laurachristine.us. If you just scroll down a little bit, it's right in the middle of the page. If you want to dive deeper in and start really being in a place where you feel super safe and supported to start telling the truth about who you are and what you want and what you desire, finding the truth of who you are, what you want, what you desire, that's where coaching would come in. I focus on women because I noticed that pattern that I mentioned in the beginning. However, if you are not a woman and you really are ready to take your life into freedom, you can still reach out. You get a free discovery call, so you might as well do it because you shift during that call. Okay, we'll see you in Club LC, laurachristine.us. We'll see you next time I put an episode out. Thank you. I would love to know where you're at on your journey, so contact me. You can do that at laurachristine.us as well. Or if you have my number, shoot me a text, baby. All right, till next time, in love and liberation. Elsie.